Do I have a head cold?
No.
Do we have a loud humming fireplace running in the background?
No.
Are we recording with the proper microphone?
You'd have to tell me. I can't see the screen.
Okay. Yes, we do. Is there any technical issue that we could possibly run into today?
Well, there's that clock over there.
Yeah, there's that. Anyway, on with the show.
Alright then, welcome back to the Final Form, our dear listeners. I am your host, Mitchell. With me today at the bar, we got Ryan.
Is that my name? I'm not sure. I don't remember anything before being here. I got out of an elevator down the hall, and there's a bar. The guy behind it's looking kind of strange, a little dead in the eyes. Ryan. That rings a bell. I believe I'm a podcaster of some sort.
Sure, let's go with that.
Today we're doing Death Parade. If you didn't get any of those jokes, then you probably haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's an odd way of introducing the show, but yeah, Death Parade is that. It's an odd show. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but it's not everyone's cup of tea.
No,
it's different.
It is most certainly different. Very short watch. If you haven't seen it and you feel like doing so before continuing this episode, you can probably go do that in an hour or two or three. Well, I'm exaggerating.
I would say 4 hours.
Yeah.
Because it's 12 episodes.
12 episodes.
If you don't take any breaks.
Yeah.
And just skip the opening, which do not skip that opening.
No. That opening... Yeah, I see what you're talking about now. It grows on you.
It was instantaneous, and I've seen the actual band that did that.
Okay.
They wear random costumes in it.
Oh, yeah.
I think rabbit masks at one point.
Of course. Very, very upbeat sort of disco pop.
Yeah, very disco pop, very jazzy, energetic, for a show that's very slow and dealing with death.
Yeah.
It's kind of mood whiplash, but in the best kind of way.
Yeah. So let's talk about the general premise of the show.
You watched it recently, so why don't we let you explain it this time for a change of pace?
Okay. So let me see. Where do you even start? I guess where you would start is two people get out of an elevator. They don't remember anything prior to the elevator.
They don't even remember their names. They remember enough to function as humans.
Yeah, they remember their languages.
Their likes and dislikes, I guess.
Yeah, to an extent. They don't remember much about themselves. It varies.
Yeah, it varies. I think generally, especially, don't recall how they got to this bar. And there is no way out of this bar. Yes.
So they get to the bar, and they are introduced to the bartender, Deckham.
Deckham is the one we use. Is the one we follow.
Yes, there are multiple of these bars, and I guess the easiest way to put it is that these people do not know that they are dead. They're told they have to play a random game. They cannot leave. They must play the game, and that the consequences can be
very dire.
Yes. In fact, it could...
end everything.
Yes.
There's no other way of putting it.
Yes.
You're either given a fresh start, or you are dust in the void.
Yes. And that's what it comes down to. They initially call it heaven and hell because those are easy concepts to understand, but...
It's reincarnation and atomization.
Yeah, just...
That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah. And from there, you're introduced to the background cast of characters, the runnings of these various bars.
It's basically the bureaucracy of the afterlife.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. It's my only major flaw with the show is how interesting the background is.
Yeah.
But it's a background. We never get to explore it. I don't know if we did, it would hurt it, but at the same time, you're left not wanting, but almost feeling a need to know more.
Yeah,
Like, a good show will leave you wanting something, but leave you satisfied. Death Parade, at its worst, leaves you wanting, and you're still wanting. You're not satisfied with, oh, it's vague spiritual bureaucracy.
Yeah,
and some shows that works, but for this one, because it was so well done, it almost feels like that's a misstep. And why don't we actually explain what these games can be like? Because that's the really interesting and weirdest part.
Yeah, and we should add, we weren't joking, we really are at a bar, which is pretty fucking cool. Not at a...
Bar, but this is a bar in my folks' place. They have a nice little bar in our rec room. And I wanted to have a change of not just venue for Ryan, just to, I don't know, get him out of his house.
Yeah, it's been 3 months, and, you know...
Is this the first Did I Drop Out anything that's not been filmed at your home base?
No, that's not true, because initially me and James recorded at his place.
Okay, so
this is the third place, third venue.
Third,
we're branching out.
Yeah. I guess this is Studio C then.
I guess so.
But the other reason why I just thought it would be really fun to have a show that mostly takes place in bars in a bar.
Yeah.
Luckily, this is not going to be. I'm not asking for any IDs though, so.
Well, I'm off the hook.
Sure you are.
Yeah, I have to agree. My major flaw, or my major problem with Death Parade was there was a little too much focus on the humans that appear at this bar that have to figure out what's going on.
Clearly, that's the point of the show, is to show human morality, human consequences, which that is a fascinating topic to go into. Yeah. But do not do that with something really interesting in the background.
Yeah, and
it's basically like, imagine if you're watching Shakespeare, let's say Macbeth.
Okay.
And in the background you hear, a rock concert.
Yeah.
Your attention is going to be kind of split.
Yeah.
And if it's your favorite rock band, they're going to get more of your attention, even if you can only hear them muffled to the wall. And that's just how it goes. And that's literally pretty much my only problem with the show, which is not exactly a death nail for a show.
No.
I mean, I've watched shows with way more flaws, and this one's just... Yeah. It was 12 average-sized episodes that left me always thinking, which, considering how much media leaves me just like, okay, I enjoyed that explosion fest. Yeah. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. No, this one could sometimes leave me a bit on the side of, whew, that was intense. I need to sit down and think about this. Oh wait, I already am sitting.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know. I think I had a bigger problem with it than you did. There were a couple episodes that I just didn't care. Yeah. Like the first couple humans to come into the bar, I really did not give a flying fuck. Yeah. I'm not to give any spoilers, but the couple, the married couple, did not care. No. The couple who they weren't a couple, but the two people who had to play the
bowling. Or the fighting game?
The fighting game.
Yeah, the fighting game I didn't... The bowling was the first time I actually cared about the people. Because I found, I found that really sweet, and for some reason I thought the girl was trans. Okay. Not... Because they kept hinting she had a surgery. Yeah. But it was just so that she could look nicer for him. I'm like, that's sweet. Why was I getting trans from this? I reading too much of it?
I really, really didn't like the ending of that episode. Because I thought that reveal... Okay, and this is one of the things. I don't want to criticize the show. I will say it is a good show. But I found most of the time when they had some sort of mystery or some sort of, there's a revelation or a reveal about a human character, I was let down almost every time. Yeah. I didn't,
Your expectations went one way and the show decided to go a less interesting way. Yeah. For you, at least. I didn't have that problem too often. Not enough that I can actually remember it. Yeah. But I'm guaranteed... Because I haven't watched this show for a few months now. So it's actually fresher in Ryan's head than his mind. But It's one of those shows I really like, but I don't want to come back to constantly.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a 1 or 2 year rewatch kind of thing, just to sit back and go, I feel like watching something more stimulating.
Mm-hmm. I think I don't know if I would watch the entire show again. I think like
you probably pick and choose your favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Which, hey, we're all going to do that with some of our shows we've watched.
Yeah.
I mean, but I guarantee you're probably going to end up watching that opening a few times.
Oh, that opening.
I'm gonna have to send you the full version of the song, the band's video version.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Let me see. Let's get into those games. We got the darts.
That game was more interesting than the people involved.
Yes, it was.
Basically, this couple they're playing a game of darts, but the thing is, on the dartboard are voodoo doll like organs of the person they're playing against.
Yeah.
And the more important, the bigger the score, the more damaging it is to a person, or how more sensitive it is to a person.
Yeah.
So I think the bullseye literally is the optic nerve, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
So you don't actually get the damage, but you feel the damage of someone taking a dart into your optic nerve.
Yeah.
And the point of the game is to get up points. That's all Decker says, is you have to play this game of darts. What they don't know is the game is testing them to see if they are good people just based off this game. So you could throw the match to not hurt the person. That's technically throwing your 5 darts.
Yeah.
And he never says that. Well, he kind of hints at it.
Yeah.
Because Decker is a very interesting character. He's supposed to come across as emotionless, and he sounds it. That voice actor really comes across deadpan.
Yeah.
But he also does the thing that he's supposed to, which is hinting that Decker is kind underneath that.
Yeah.
He's a really nice, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
And
the arbiter, I believe, is the term.
Arbiter is the term, but whatever spiritually you want to call him.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
And
one thing I didn't understand, it seemed like there was an inconsistency in the level of stakes in each of those games. Like the first one you're introduced to is the darts, where every single time you hit the dartboard,
you hurt the other person.
But then there are other ones where there's literally none of that.
Yeah, I mean the bowling one's a good example.
Yeah,
that one's just really weird, but at the same time, it is. The point of the game is not the stakes; it's to reveal you underneath your truer self, I guess. What they're going for. So that game does really do that. It shows your heart racing because you pick up the bowling ball, and inside the bowling ball, you can feel the other person's heartbeat.
Yeah,
and squeezing into their heart with a little actual human heart inside it, not a cute Valentine's Day heart. Oh no, I mean the actual heart.
Yeah.
You see if you Collie mauled somebody, if you know that reference.
And then there's one where they literally just play a game of cards.
Yeah.
And there are
no stakes.
No stakes. There's no differences. It is the same as if me and you were to play a game of cards.
The only difference is these cards show their history of these two people.
Yeah.
And they don't have their memories, but the cards spark their memories, and then they have a little talk about what this card represents to them.
Yeah.
And I mean that they naturally talk about them, so it's a natural way of getting them to talk about their emotions and their memories, and it's a good way to quickly judge a person. But the big question of the show I found was, how do you judge a person? Do you judge them by their whole life, how they died, or what they do with the knowledge that they are being judged?
Yeah.
And I do agree with them. The whole point of them losing their memories is to try and show them that, hey, you're not actually dead. You could still be alive. So, yeah, that's a good way of finding out a person. Because if they know they're dead and being judged, you're obviously going to start, acting the most saint-like you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, again, would not be a fair judge of a person.
No.
And when the people come to the bar, Decker is given their memories, but he doesn't experience them. He basically someone basically gives him a mental file of these people's lives.
Yeah.
And he can flip through them in his brain, but he's not really supposed to only use that to understand them slightly better, like not use that for the actual judging. It's the game he judges off.
Yeah.
And is that fair? They hint that it may not be, but they also hint it's probably the most efficient way.
Yeah.
And it's an afterlife bureaucracy. Efficiency is going to muddy the waters.
Yeah.
And they don't shy away from that they make mistakes. They get upset and they act like they don't make mistakes, but they clearly have a system for oopsie doopsies.
Yeah. And the big question that is asked many, many times in this series is I just had it. Is it really fair to push someone to the limit where they show their worst side, and then judge them based on that worst side, like their deepest, darkest emotions?
It's basically you just run up to a guy and just shove him enough until he gets mad at you. And depending on how his outburst goes, okay, you use 17 profanities? Hell.
Yeah, like it...
That's not fair because some people react very differently, not even because they were raised a certain way or grew up a certain way. It's a chemical reaction.
Yeah, and some people, they do have anger and rage and all these terrible, hateful emotions inside them, but they are good because
they use those for good purposes.
Or they just
never
they keep them down, and that's what they're doing to help out.
But is that your true self? Yes. It's a very I don't know if you're familiar with the term Jung. Carl
Carl Jung.
Jungian philosophy.
Yeah.
The masks we all wear.
Yeah.
What is the true face under all these masks? But they're not really looking for it. They're just trying to find the fastest way through that. And if you ask me, an angry outburst because someone's pissing you off or putting you through a great amount of stress is itself another mask. It's a defensive mask.
Yeah.
But I guess depending on how you react when you're cornered, that's what matters most to this arbitration system.
Yeah.
And for some people, it actually could work for them, because if they're always naturally angry, always naturally fisticuffs is their answer, that's a good way to judge someone, to see how they would react and judge them off that. But I don't know, the little old lady who spent her entire life, baking cookies for people, making her mad, I guarantee you she probably might be more scared than some mafia members.
Yeah.
Because she's never had to get mad before.
Yeah.
But do you judge her for that, or do you judge her for, all the cookies she made for orphans?
Yeah.
And that's a purpose flaw of a show. Like, if that annoys you, like you don't like that idea of a show judging people based off that, that's the show's not
no,
it's
for sure.
It sounds bad, but they frame it as bad.
Yeah.
So,
like, that's the thing I really did enjoy about the show is the first episode presents you with the setup with the two people in the bar and the whole thing, and their judging system, and then every episode further is altering and changing it.
Yeah.
It's questioning one thing.
In fact, the second episode is all about showing how the first episode works.
Exactly.
From literally behind the curtains.
Yes. And I really, really enjoyed that second episode.
Yeah, that second
after the first, I was like, I don't know if this show's for me. After the second, I was like, I think this show is for me.
Yeah. It was. A lot of people I know, if they don't like the first episode, I say, you've got to watch the second.
Yeah.
If the second does not immediately make things click for you or hook you, then that show's not, this show is not for you. And if you felt like a waste of your time, I'm sorry. If you felt like it was just not for you and it was okay, well, then I hope you enjoyed that 45 minutes ish.
Like I'll be honest, I didn't love the show. I enjoyed the show. I definitely think that whatever they're trying to do, they're doing it.
Yes.
And they're doing it well.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's my kind of show.
No.
At the same time.
It's kind of mine because I've always had a very interesting take on philosophy, post-mortem thoughts.
Yeah.
And as I don't really see... If there is an afterlife, I can't help but picture that it would have some bureaucracy involved with it.
Yeah.
I don't think there is an afterlife. That's just my own personal taste.
Yeah.
But having the idea that it's a bureaucracy actually does make me feel a bit more comfortable than just bearded guy behind a pedestal judging me for every time I've looked at the wrong person the wrong way, or said a certain deity's name in vain without even knowing if this deity is the one I'm allowed to say in vain.
Yeah. That's the thing. If you're I'm not gonna look down on anyone for their religious choices.
No, I mean,
you know,
that's your choices.
But if that is your choice, you're probably not going to enjoy the show.
No, if you're not capable of thinking about afterlife being something different,
yeah,
which is why I think they actually use the term heaven and hell, because a large part of the whole world has moved on to those concepts of the afterlife.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense than trying to say, oh, Hindu was closer with the reincarnation.
Yeah.
That would immediately cause some nasty reactions.
Yeah, and that's why they created their own very, very interesting and original setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we mention the wonderful cameo in the show?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah.
If the art style of this anime looks familiar to you, and you've watched a fair few animes, especially ones from mid-2000s, this is by the same group that animated Death Note. And a certain user of the Death Note has a silent cameo appearance sitting alone in his own bar.
Yeah.
Those who use the Death Note can neither go to heaven or hell.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil this for... It's not even... it doesn't do anything with the cameo, but it's just there. And when you find out that the afterlife is like this kind of... Because people are dying at a faster rate.
Yeah.
And I just mentioned Death Note, and if you know anything about Death Note, you're like, did you ruin the afterlife bureaucracy? Did you not only fuck over, the living world, but the undead world too?
That is a very interesting question. And I have not watched Death Note.
You know enough about the premise of it.
I've read the first 3 volumes of the manga.
Yeah, then you definitely got enough of the show.
Yeah, and I caught the cameo. Because honestly, I had to look up and find out, am I just seeing this or is this on purpose? And it's...
The art style is not one for one.
No.
But it is animation style one for one. Mm-hmm. Which, I'm not that much of an anime snob to notice, but because this show and Death Note are both more slow-paced, where the small details of the hand movements are well animated, that's how I first noticed.
Yeah.
And when I saw this cameo, it immediately clicked with me, this must be the same, either original writer for the manga's the same, or the animation studio. And I looked it up; it's the animation studio. I don't think the writers are connected. They might be. I didn't bother to double check that. I saw the studio was the same, and that was enough for me to go, mystery solved. I would make a terrible detective. As soon as I got my one piece of evidence, I walked out.
Death Note is something else we're going to have to get to at some point.
It is an important show, but a couple of my friends, when I showed them my top 15, were very surprised I put this show over Death Note. And I'm like, Death Note was longer, didn't end where I wanted to. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about Death Note. But that's the thing, if you like Death Note, I guarantee there's going to be more than just a cameo of this show that you like about Death Parade.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they both go dark.
Yeah, and
not the same kind of dark, but at the same time, same kind of thinking at places. Like, Death Note likes to talk about justice a lot and how it's not just black and white. This show likes to talk about how judging the afterlife is not black and white.
Yeah, they don't really ask the same questions, but they ask questions that could go hand in hand.
Yeah.
They ask parts of the same conversation.
It basically the same conversation. The post-mortem of the Death Note conversation is so fitting. That cameo works on 4 or 5 different levels.
You could really watch this as almost a sequel.
Some people consider it a sequel.
Yeah.
Personally, myself, I like to fan rank it as a sequel.
More like a spiritual successor. Even.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, I don't know the ending of Death Note, but I can already see it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't want to spoil the end for Death Note for you. I mean, like I said, Death Note is good.
Yeah.
Top 25 for me, maybe. I know that's sacrilegious to some people.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like I said, this went in a better direction. There's no point in this show that pissed me off like Death Note did.
Yeah. Okay.
And a friend of mine kept trying to make me watch this show, but he kept trying to make me watch it at the worst times.
Okay.
I was not in the mood for deep thinking, or I just was busy, or I didn't have time to have a show where I wanted to not marathon. I really don't recommend marathoning this show unless you're doing it for a podcast.
Yeah.
I recommend watching an episode, thinking about it, and then coming back.
Oh, I absolutely marathon some of it.
Some of it is marathonable.
Yeah.
There are some weaker episodes.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not a perfect show, and there's a few reasons why it wasn't in my top 5.
Yeah.
but it was one where I always like to go, do you like deeper thinking in your cartoons?
Yeah.
I'm one of those people who still get pissed off when people say, "Oh, cartoons are for kids," and I look at I'm like, "Watch this and argue that with me."
Yeah.
But
I have a question.
sure.
So we didn't mention this part. The bartender's name is Deckham.
Yeah.
The previous bartender's name was Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
The bar is named Quinn Deckham. Is why why is the place named after the two people that is the name going to change when they get a third bartender, or
I have no idea. I like to think that yes, it'll be called the Deckham, and then his replacement will be the name taped to it, and they'll just keep doing that.
okay.
Or when they need a new bartender, they just make a new bar, because like we said, there's multiple bars. We do see at least one other, which as a guy who likes Japanese culture, I didn't like that bar as much as the Quinn Deckham.
Okay.
The Quinn Deckham actually looks like a place I would go to, and I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't know, the giant fish tanks were what really drew me in.
Yeah, definitely.
Although, what ruins that entire bar is the minigame selector.
Yeah.
It's basically, what was the name of that show? Was it just called No Whammies?
No, Pressure Luck.
Pressure Luck. It's basically a Pressure Luck board where you have to stop it, and then the panel turns over and it shows you your game.
Yeah.
But it just so clashes with that really fancy, classy looking bar.
Oh, I just thought about this. I forgot to actually
Yeah.
count. Do we see every game?
We get the impression that the games are constantly changed out. Like
Okay.
They have like 9 these two people could play.
Yeah.
And they probably reuse a couple games for a couple people, but they might use them. Like, there's a lot of things we don't know about this show, and we have to speculate. Mm-hmm. And it's on one hand, this show does that kind of speculation really well.
Yep.
And at other times, it gives you a piece of information, then just walks off. You're like, what do I do with this? Can I have more of this, please? Like, a good show can leave you speculating, like giving you a Rubik's Cube you can only see one side of. And you're like, okay, I wonder what the rest of these parts are. Is it solvable?
Yeah.
That's good. That it can lead to a lot of fan theories, and some of the best shows have those kind of discussions about them. But this one leaves you with a Rubik's Cube, but instead of it being the normal 9 sides on one, it's 8. And you're like, why is it missing one?
Yeah.
This is unsolvable now. What do I do with this?
Yeah.
I want to know what that one piece is. Will you bring that up? No. And you could argue that a lot of, like you were saying, a lot of the mysteries of these people's... Because we learn their memories while they regain them during these games.
Yeah.
And even then, because they're getting their memories in fragmentations, they can jump to conclusions in some bad places.
Yes, definitely.
And that's the one part of the testing these people by them not knowing that pisses me off. But I get the impression that it's supposed to piss me off, so I don't count it as a flaw. I count it as a flaw of the bureaucracy, not a flaw of the writing staff. Yeah. Because it definitely seems like it's something they did on purpose really well at places.
Yeah, definitely. It's okay. I'm gonna backtrack again here.
Sure.
About some of my issues with it. I just almost wish that in places they left more up to the imagination.
Yeah, they've got a nasty habit of just enough to your imagination and way too much to your imagination. Yeah. If they just kept it at just enough for the entire show, this would have been higher up on my scale. Yeah,
definitely.
And
certain characters, the humans that come into the bar, I almost wish I didn't know their whole backstory. Yeah. Because the intrigue of not knowing would be more interesting than the stories we got.
The couple I brought up, how we found out that her surgery was done just to make herself look prettier. If we didn't know what she was like before, I would find it way more interesting. Because then you could have, like I said, I thought she was born male and turned herself female, and the guy she was smitten on didn't care. That would have made that story way better.
Yeah, but like they showed her as a little girl, and she just looked like
a normal little girl.
And then they showed her as an adult, and I was like, yeah, I can see her like growing up to look like that. But apparently,
it was another girl. They both remembered.
Yeah.
that was weird, and that threw my head for like, why would you go that way?
I don't know.
But if they never brought up that there was a second little girl, or never even show her as a little girl, and we were left to guess more about her past. Like I said, until I found out that she was born a girl, I was thinking that she was born a guy, and I would have found that way more interesting if we left that vague. It would have been, you could have projected on that however you wanted.
Yeah.
She thought she was an ugly little girl. She was a fat little girl. She was born a boy. You could have taken that story whatever way would have been more progressive or fascinating for you.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brain went that way. I tried because I was watching 4 or 5 things at the same time as Death Parade, which was not a wise idea because it started crossing streams in my brain.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think but it's one of those things. Sometimes when you watch a show, you get a random memory that sticks with you forever. Yeah. And that's the only disappointment I had with that episode. Was I thought they could have had a 10.10 ending. Yeah. They missed. Mm-hmm. But it was still good. Like, I still felt like, oh, that was sweet.
Character we should probably get into is, we won't say her name. Her name's not revealed to the end.
No, it's not revealed from the end. She's
the black-haired woman, I guess?
Black-haired woman is they're usually referred to in the credits. She is different. She's not an arbiter. She's not one of these spirits. She's basically a human who showed up at the bar without a partner to play against.
Yeah. Episode 2?
2. We find out more about her. She's basically, until they can figure out what to do with her, she's made Decker's unofficial assistant. Yeah. Well, technically official, but they still treat... I don't know. It's bureaucracy.
Well, it's... I guess it is official on a certain level. Yeah. Because...
she is given the ability to get the memories of people, too.
Yeah. Nona, is that her name?
Yeah, Nona, the girl.
Nona runs the tower with the bars, and she does appoint her as the assistant. Yeah, but I feel like her up aboves
didn't approve of it.
No, they didn't know about it, so it was sort of unofficial.
Like, it was never on paperwork.
Yeah, was
one of those behind the tables kind of deals.
Yeah, and exactly.
Because she's human and not an arbiter. Arbiters are artificially made things to judge humans. Yeah. But she's human, which, shouldn't she be better at judging humans? It's one of the questions they pose, but they don't give a good answer for it, which is the best way to answer that question. Yeah. Because there are advantages, like I said, there are advantages to having like a non-human emotions thing judge humans. Yeah. But at the same time, it doesn't feel fair. No. That's why juries are juries of your peers.
Yeah, of course.
For good reasons, but sometimes you can't find peers for people. Yeah. Either be the location or you just don't exist. Yeah. Or if they do exist, you definitely automatically know how they're going to. So it's not fair. So I guess the easy solution is to have the closest thing to robots.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's pretty clear that because these robots are made by something human-like, they're flawed. Which I love. I just love the idea that the afterlife is not perfect. Because the concept of a perfect something is just impossible for us to actually picture. Yeah. Because I don't care what religion you bring up, oh, this part of it was perfect. Somebody else is going to look at it with some critiques because that's not what they think perfect is. Yeah. So... Exactly. I think that's the best way to sell the show. It's not perfect. Yeah. In the perfect way. Yeah. Well, near perfect way, I guess, but... This is a huge departure from My Hero, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I guess we're going to have a pretty big departure next time. We'll get into that a little later.
We're going to do that every now and then. We're gonna. That's one of the reasons why I'm so happy to do this show, is I get to point out how different anime is. I mean, even my own top 15 was kind of all over the place. Yeah. A lot of them were action-y, because I like action, but... Of course. A lot of them have my favorite moments are quieter moments. Yeah. Introspective moments. And then there's shows where there actually is no plot, it's completely stupid, and I'm just there for the eye candy. I will be honest about that. But there are shows like this that are just so different, so thoughtful, so... I want to say it's beautiful to watch. It's just so... The colors are just wonderful. Yeah. Even the eyes are just... Eyes are the gateway of the soul, and this show... Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of Deckham's eyes.
They're very symbolic and also have a purpose. Yeah. beyond symbolism.
Yes.
It also weirded the hell out of me when he gets the memories, his eyes rotate.
Yeah.
Because they're like cross shaped, so they kind of... That's weird.
Yeah.
But it's also like, why is he... Oh, it's basically like your window's low and it's loading something. Which is what I first thought. Like, oh, they're robots!
Oh,
they're
it's loading.
arbiters. I'm still going to think of them as robots.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the woman in black with black hair is kind of our stand-in. Like, she's the one she doesn't know how this works, so she's going to ask questions we're going to ask. Like, but at the same time, she goes along with things a lot easier than I know most people would.
Yeah.
But she's also lacking her memory, so I guess that kind of makes sense. She's got nothing else to latch onto, but these weird, otherworldly things.
Yeah, she has no memories, but like it's a ways into the show before she even fully realizes that she's human. Yeah. Because she just doesn't remember anything about herself.
They never tell her she's really human, so I guess she doesn't really doesn't jump to that leap of logic. But it's obvious to us watching her, but to her, she's with all these other cold emotions things, and she's not very good at emoting herself. She does have very human outbursts. That's when I first was, okay, she's really a normal human. Yeah. Because when Deca makes a mistake, that to him is a perfect logical jump. Yeah. But because she's human, she realizes people can do bad things for good reasons. Yeah. Whoopsie doopsie, that was a bad judgment call. Yeah.
And there's also the fact that the arbiters and the staff, I don't know what you call them.
I don't call them either. Staff is probably the best word.
The group of people that inhabit the tower are not really good at telling humans anything.
No, like they're I guess prime directive is to be vague at all times.
Yeah, let people figure it out on their own, which is kind of what the show lets the viewer do as well.
But at the same time, much like how humans are, we're left scratching our head sometimes, like what? Why? Yeah. So again, perfection in their imperfect way of telling things. Yeah. So,
in a way, watching the show is a similar experience. I mean, to a lesser extent, similar experience to those who
play the game. Like, I've never met anybody who's watched this show that came up with the exact same take as I have, and I love that. Yeah. I mean, there's so many shows where you can take away the same thing, which is, oh, right, good is awesome. That guy was a douche nozzle. Yeah. Everyone agrees. Yeah. To varying degrees. You'll always find that one person goes, he wasn't that much of a douche nozzle if you think about it from his point of view. Like, you are clearly forcing that, good sir, but that's your choice. But this show is, I've met people who think this is the best anime ever made. Like, there's no flaws in it. The questions they left asking was for you to figure it out on your own. If you don't figure it out on your own, well then, bad for you. I'm like, not everyone thinks the same way as you do. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I've met people who love deep thinking anime, hate this one, can't get behind it one way or the other. One person is because they just don't like the idea of Affleck being that way, and the other person, I have no idea. He never gave me a good answer why it boggled him.
Well, I mean, sometimes you don't really have a reason. You watch something, and it just doesn't click with you. Yeah. I mean,
but I've never had a boring conversation about this show.
No, and that's pretty. That
is a credit to the show. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Every episode left me with something to talk about. Yeah. Not like some episodes left me with like a short novel to talk about. Another ones left me with, a couple paragraphs. Yeah. But it wasn't like other shows I watched what I love, where that episode was just there.
Yeah. That happened.
That happened. Yeah. And that happens 4 or 5 times in a row. Like, let's bring up the most famous anime, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. You can write paragraphs about Goku's character, but not every episode's going to add to that novel you're writing about him.
No.
And he could be the only character who shows up for most of the episode. It still adds nothing to him. Yep. He likes to do ab crunches. He did that last episode. Shit. But this one's going to leave you thinking. Yeah. Even if you hate this show, I guarantee you, it's going to leave you thinking. Yeah. And what more could a slow, intellectual show ask for its fans? To leave them thinking. Yeah. There's nothing worse than doing a artsy, smartsy, smart thing and everyone just walks away dumber from it.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you hate the show, you're still going to walk away at least a little bit smarter in philosophy.
Yeah. You'll be, like, at the very least walking away from this asking questions.
Which
is sort of the point.
Yeah. And it stuck that landing. Flawed and all.
Yeah. I don't know if I have much more to...
It's a nice short anime, so it's perfect for a nice short podcast episode.
Yeah, I mean, the last two we reviewed were 49 and 38 episodes, so even coming anywhere close to it with a 12-episode series, you know.
Basically, if My Hero was this 12 episode long, we would have been done My Hero way faster than this.
Yeah.
As good as My Hero is, as good as deep as that show is,
yeah.
There's not too much to talk about. But
No,
this is just... It's the perfect... If I actually argue that this show should never be more than 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe do a second season, but keep that also 12 episodes.
Yeah, do one of those things where the second season is sort of a sequel series.
Yeah, but do not bring up Decker.
Yeah.
Go to a different bar.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have Decker show up.
Yeah.
But, no, it's a different bar.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. Like, I would like to have more interesting humans in the games.
Yeah. Or even
either do more interesting humans or give us more of the staff.
Yeah.
Don't try and give us both at once.
Yeah.
Like this one did.
Yeah.
Sometimes the staff fell on our faces. Not as often as the humans, though. The staff were always... But that's because we know less about them. Because we're human. We know how humans act. We can generally guess how our fellow meatbags are going to act, but these aren't humans.
Yeah.
And they act some odd ways.
Yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything, but one of the later episodes, a certain arbiter makes a very bold decision that is not really explained, and we don't get into his backstory as to why.
And we don't actually figure, is this what was really intended all along?
Yeah,
you're left asking way more questions.
Yeah,
but not in a really good way at times.
Yeah.
Some of the questions you ask from that are I would like to have these answers. The other ones are just is this just a plot jump?
Yeah.
Did the writers not know how to end this scene?
Yeah, interesting.
But like always, I hope this has sparked somebody's interest to watch this anime.
Yeah.
This, like I said, the dub of this is really, really good.
Oh yeah.
I've listened to the Japanese, and it's pretty similar in terms of voice tone.
Okay.
But I found that Decker is slightly better in English.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I prefer dubs. There are several times where I'll admit where the Japanese actor did a much better job, but Death Parade is not one of them. It's much better enjoyed in your own native language.
Yeah.
Although, for a rewatch, I think I'm going to rewatch it all in subs just to see the small differences.
Yeah, just to...
Because some things don't translate well for some shows like this when it's more thought-provoking.
Yeah.
But it's still, I really hope someone here will listen and just watch a couple episodes. Just watch the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, the first 2. It's.
And if you're not hooked by episode 2, that's fine. Not every show is for everybody.
Yep.
But like I said, watch the first 2, and it will get you thinking. Even if it's gotten you thinking about, wow, these 2 podcasters are crazy. There's nothing good about this show. You're still thinking, and we won.
And you're entitled to your opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody's gonna like. Nobody. Nobody. No. I don't think there are 2 people on this earth who like exactly the same things.
And if they are, you might want to get your flamethrower just in case. It's probably the thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Wanna get into what we'll be doing on the next episode? Our first feature length film.
Did we agree on which one we're doing?
I thought we did.
Okay, so we are going to end up doing a Hayao Miyazaki movie.
Yes.
And it's my personal favorite Miyazaki movie. Kiki's Delivery Service. That probably surprised a few people, I know.
Yeah. I haven't seen this one.
It's just adorable.
No, I do love Miyazaki.
I find Miyazaki's at his best when he's just being cute.
Yeah. Yeah,
when he's being
sure.
war bad, I mean, these are good, but it almost feels like he's being a dead horse, but he's got a good reason to beat that dead horse, so you keep at it, Miyazaki.
Yeah.
You stay that course, no one can deny that you have a damn good reason to beat that horse.
Yeah. You know what? No, I'm not going to say keep at it. That man has worked far too hard in his lifetime.
He's technically retired, yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's coming back out of it. I think he deserves the retirement. He deserves to just take a nap. Like,
I think that's what he did for his retirement. He just stopped and like, I will nap. Okay, Mr. B.
We'll see you in 2 years. Okay.
Is he woken up? No.
We'll get more into him as well.
Yes.
We're going to have to touch on him.
The Walt Disney of Japan.
Yeah.
Much like Walt Disney, he can kind of be controversial at times,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
He's actually not that fond of anime fans.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm like, okay, there are sometimes I wish I could throw fan to a wood chipper, but I wouldn't just say all fans.
So he's sort of like a Japanese Alan Moore.
You kind of like that. I've heard that tossed around about him, too, but...
If Alan Moore make cute, cuddly things like Totoro.
Yeah. But he's a very hit-or-miss director with me. Like,
yeah. I haven't had a miss yet, but I haven't seen a whole lot. I've seen maybe a handful of his movies.
I haven't seen all of his. Like, there's just some that didn't wow me. Like, I watched a few minutes of Howl's Moving Castle, and it just didn't hook me.
Oh, I really enjoy Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, that's fun.
But I'm also a fan of the original book as well.
I didn't even know it was original book.
Yeah, Diane Wynne Jones, her name is, wrote the novel.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. Actually, I think there's a YouTuber I watch who compares movies to the books. So
Okay,
I'll see if he's done that.
Yeah.
I think he has.
Anyway. So Kiki's Delivery Service is going to be a huge tonal shift for...
We cannot keep a tone going, so get used to that.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's kind of like, to go back to the name of the show, The Final Form, if you know Frieza's transformations, how they went from small, large, small. What?
Yeah. Yeah, gotta keep with the theme here.
I guess, yeah. When do we turn golden?
Fuck, I don't know. Somewhere around Akira, I guess. I don't know.
I was hoping when we actually get to Dragon Ball Z, but we might get to Akira for Dragon Ball Z.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We are getting to both. I actually have not fully watched Akira.
No?
No.
I do love me some Akira.
I know a lot of people consider it like one of the best science fiction movies, period. Like, they don't even list it as best animated. They just put it in the sci-fi next to like Alien and
I would
Star Trek movies.
I would put it in there. I really would.
I have got to get behind this. Let me just watch a few scenes. That's disgusting in context. I should put it in context.
I do recommend the manga. 6 volumes. Exact same story. It's just they cut out a lot of minor details, and the details really add to the story.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's just adaptations.
We're going on tangents here, but whatever. The same guy who wrote the manga directed the film.
Ooh.
Like, it is all the same creator, the film and the manga.
Okay, now that's really piqued my interest in the manga.
There we go.
Next time I get a chance to, I will go to. But for now, we were talking about Kiki's and how cute it was.
Well, anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode on Death Parade.
Like we said, please at least watch the opening.
Yeah, definitely recommend the opening, and don't watch the opening and expect this is how the characters interact. It is not. Not even a little bit.
No.
You will not see dancing in the show.
Well, yes, but not in that context.
No.
More ice involved.
Yeah. Thanks again, and
we'll be around next time. We're not going anywhere.
Oh, we should probably mention the fact that we are doing an episode 2 weeks in a row.
Oh yeah, there's no gap in it. Usually it's 2 weeks apart.
Yeah. Sorry for waiting almost an hour into the episode before talking about that, but
you did not hit a time warp. We are doing an extra episode because we love you. Yes, you. Not him, not her. You.
You have not been abducted by aliens. You're not missing time. Basically, because of time constraints, as you may know, we recorded episodes of Final Form and Jedi Drop Bits last week. But I want to have podcasts every week, and it was easier to get around to this Death Parade episode early and then have somewhat of a similar schedule again with a podcast every week. for now.
So, hopefully, when more weirdness happens in Jedi Drop It, you get more of me.
Yeah, I guess that's you're the go-to here. As always, you can listen to other episodes of Final Form, Jedi Dropouts, and whatever the fuck else we come up with over at www.jedidropouts.podbean.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
You got suggestions for us? Ryan will probably listen. I won't.
Yeah, anything you if there's an anime you
really want us to do, go ahead.
Yeah.
We've got schedules, but the thing is, if we get enough demand for a show, we'll probably change our mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if you bring up pitchforks and torches.
Yeah.
I don't like being stabbed and burnt, so I will quickly adapt to that.
Mm-hmm. And
we still don't have an outro for the show.
We do not. But I guess to wrap things up, Mitchell, pour me a drink.
All right.
The afterlife's getting a little old. Sitting at this bar, pour me up a drink.
What's your poison?
Later, guys.